In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make these round like meshes. Instead of just a normal X, we're going to try and create a round like shape like that. Right, so there are really two ways that I've come across, and hopefully let's just delete these and start from the beginning. So right, so let's do the first way, which is numpad 7. You can also press tilde and then hover on top, and we're going to press Shift A, Mesh Plane. Once you've got your plane selected, let's also delete this empty. So we only got this plane over here, which is great. First thing we want to do with this plane is leave it named plane. In fact, we're going to create a new collection, collection 2, and I am going to chuck this plane in here and rename it and call it Mesh Element 1. And then I'm going to press Shift A, Mesh, and I am going to use a cylinder. I'm going to put this on 64, which is overkill, but why not? And this is where your artistry is at play. You can scale this to any size you want by pressing S and scale it, make it as small as you like. It doesn't have to be big. I'm going to make it a bit smaller than what it was earlier. So I'm just going to scale it down to about there. Once you've got the size that you like, try and place it well. Something like that should be fine. And then we're going to add an array modifier. By the way, this cylinder we're going to rename cutter. And the number one, let's put the cutter in collection 2. Number one rule about cutters is that you never render cutters. And we're going to add a modifier, and we're going to use the array modifier. Make the x-axis 1.5. I'm just going to zoom out, and I'm just going to keep clicking this until we get all the way to the other side. Now this is really small. I am probably made it. You probably don't want to make it this small on your machine if you don't have a good machine. But at the same time, I guess we're going to find out. So once you get to the end here, let me just zoom in so we get a nice view of this. We want this side to match this side. The best way to do this is just to press S, hold in Shift, and just scale it down until you think it somewhat matches. S. Something like that should be good. And just now that we've done that, we know it's 37, and we know that this is a square, so all we need to do is duplicate. And once we duplicate, we just need to change the y-axis to negative 1.5 and make the x-axis 0. And just like that, we've got our beautiful meshed out area of where we want our holes to be cut, which is grand. So now we're going to select our plane, add modifier. We're going to use the Boolean modifier to cut. Difference, the object we'll select is our cutter. This may take a little while because we made it way too small, but be patient. Hopefully your machine can keep up, and it will get easier once this cut is made. Awesome. Once the cut is made, you want to select your cutter, go to the object properties and go to viewport display and just select wired. Once you've done that, it will take a second to load, and you'll see something like this. If you press numpad 7, you'll notice that the cuts look good over here but not over here, and I'm glad I made it this small because then it shows a much bigger area of deformation. Yours might be smaller or larger, but the solution is the same. So all you need to do is go over here, select your cutter, and then press S, and then type in 10, and then click, and just wait for it to be ready. Pardon me, I mean you need to press S, Z to only scale on the Z axis, and then 10. Once you've done that, it will look like this, which is grand. There we go. I'm going to press numpad 7 for top orthographic view, and now we can see all the cuts look good. Now that we've got all the cuts good, we want to speed up our computer, so I'm going to select our mesh element, modifier stack, and I'm going to apply this. But before we do that, the first thing we want to do, which is quite important, is we're going to press tab to go into edit mode. So select your mesh, tab into edit mode. Once you've made it into edit mode, tab to go out of this. We're supposed to be in edit mode on the mesh element. Pardon me. So you want to select the mesh element and then press tab, and then you want to press Control R to create a loop cut. You'll notice that if I scroll up, you'll notice that the number of cuts are listed over here. So I'm just going to scroll up, and we can see how many cuts is needed for the first one to somewhat align. So it's about exactly 36 cuts. So I'm just going to left click then right click, and now we know that if we go on the top here, you can just scroll up and not even look, and just look at the number of cuts and make sure it's 36 or so. Left click then right click. There we go. And that's all the subdivisions we need to do on this mesh. We press tab to go back into object mode. Once you're in object mode, now we can apply. Now that we've done that, we can select our cut over here and press X, delete. And that should speed up our scene dramatically. And we've got this beautiful plain mesh over here that's circles based. Right, so now we just need to press Shift A, empty, and we're going to use a plane axis. And I'm going to chuck this empty in collection 2 because it's connected to it. And I'm going to call this mesh 1 empty, so we know what it's referring to. And I'm going to select my mesh 1 empty. I'm going to press N to get the menu over here. In items, I'm going to make the x-axis negative 90 degrees. And that should make us good. And we can just press N to hide that menu. And we're going to select our mesh element. And we're going to use the simple deform modifier. And we're just going to make this 180 bend. And then we're going to select the mesh 1 empty. And we are going, human error, I can just Control Z that. Click over here, duplicate. This time we make it the Z axis. And just like that, we've got this beautiful mesh. And obviously just to add the bottom piece, which is quite easy, you just press Shift A, mesh, circle, S, you can just scale it down to about there. Press tab to go to edit mode, 1 for vertex select, press F to fill, press I to about there, press X to delete faces, press A to select all, press numpad 1, press G, Z to bring it down to about there, and then press E to extrude up, press numpad 7. You can also press GZ, just lift it up a little bit more like that. Press tab to go into object mode. And obviously we want to just give this a material so we can see what's going on. And obviously metallic we want all the way up, specular up, roughness down. And let's play with the roughness just a little bit. That's fine. Sheen tint and sheen, and I'm quite happy with that. And then you can just say over here, copy this material, click at the bottom here, new, and we can paste this material. Now you might be happy with something like this, it might be perfect for you, and honestly with this type of style over here, shade smooth, it might look good with this bent effect, so that kind of works. This is one microphone style that is new, but you can also, I always prefer just adding a subdivision surface on this on level 2, then right clicking shade smooth, and there we have it. So that's the first one done. It looks grand. Now let's do it the other way. Shift A, mesh, cube, GX2, and this one's very similar to the way I've showed you before. So we're just going to press Control 5, and that creates subdivisions 5. You can also press Add Subdivisions and then put this to 5. And we can just apply that off the bat. And now we need to, number 1, decimate the unsubdivided by 1. We need to cast this into a sphere-like shape to a factor of 1, so it gives it a perfect sphere-like shape, and then we need to wireframe it, and we'll need to apply all of this before we continue. And I'm just going to add the material right here now. Right, so this is the old way that we did things in the last video, which is a pretty good way, and it's how most microphones look. And I'm going to make sure X-ray is turned on. I'm going to select all of this, and I'm going to press X, delete vertices. Now that's not good enough for me. I can see I missed something, so I'm going to hold in Shift, X, delete vertices. Now that's a perfect line on the red line. Perfect. Alright, so now when we're looking at this, this is what we see, which is grand, but we want this to be round. So, but before we do that, I'm actually going to, because this is going to slow down the computer quite a bit, I'm going to press Shift A, Mesh, Circle, GX2, S, scale this into about there, Tab to go into edit mode, F to fill, I to inset, X to delete that face, and then 3 to choose faces, Alt, select the top faces, press E to extrude, press Tab, give this a material, paste it on, and then obviously we just want to subdivide this, put it on 2, apply, right click, shade smooth. There we go. So currently this is how it looks, but we want this to be round. This is going to be a machine killer, but it looks really good. So subdivision surface, it's going to slow down your computer here at this point, especially with having a high mesh volume object like this, and then also having one over here. We definitely need to try and retopologize this at some point, but for now, let's just keep going. So the solution here is, I'm just going to put this on 5 on Catmull clock, and it will freeze up for a bit, and then we just apply. And then I'm going to select this bottom piece here, Shift, select this top piece, press numpad 1, GZ, try and line it up next to this one. See how it looks with the camera view. You can see that it's a slightly different technique. Like this one brings it all to the side there, and this one has 4 different points like this because it's a cube on either side. And this is more like how the mic looks. This is more of like a 60s stylized mic. Some of them look like this. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this material. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.